Hello everyone, welcome back to Harley's Highlights. This is episode 3. Today I am joined with Rebecca with Cozy and Comfort Gaming. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, it's alright.
Damn it.
Chillandcomfortgaming.
Chillandcomfortgaming. Damn it. No, but you want to know why? It's because Holly and I had a conversation the other day, and we said you're anything but that because you just like have this rage when you play sometimes. So that's why I forgot the name.
True though.
So it's not like me being a jerk, I swear. I was like, oh god, what did Holly say about her channel that made me just like complete? So blame Holly. I'm blaming this on Holly.
No, do you know what it is? So like, I love chill and relaxing games, right? But when I started going live, I was like, oh, I'll just play Hello Kitty on the PS2 and I'll stream it. But then people were like, I want Rayman. I want this. I was like, do you know what? I'll go with it. And then I started streaming Bugs Life. And this is where Rage and Discomfort came from with Holly Retro. So yeah, it's brought out a different side of me.
And it's the Bugs Life too. We specifically talked about the Bugs Life because I watched some of your gameplay of that. And as someone who both grew up during the PlayStation 1 era and owns a Bugs Life and played a Bugs Life, what the hell? Because I wouldn't do it. I mean, probably for about a half hour I would as a kid, but that's as far as I'm getting because that is just, why would I do that to myself?
I don't know why I'm doing it to myself either. I'm just going with the flow now and people want it, so I'm like, yep, okay.
No, I give you props. You're way better than me. I would have given up forever ago. But why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about your channel? And it's not all just a Bugs Life, I swear. There's so much more to her channel than just a Bugs Life.
No, the whole channel is just dedicated to Bugs Life. That's it.
That's it. It's a whole and not even the movie, just the PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, just the game. Just the game. My name is Rebecca, and my whole channel is meant to be about like, you know, cozy and relaxing games or whatever, but I like to add a couple of different things into it as well, like a bit of a retro aspect as well. How I got started with my channel, don't start gymnastics in your 30s, like I mentioned on Coach Marv's podcast, because you'll get an injury like me. So basically, I snapped my ACL, and that's what got me started in making content, because I was just going stir crazy at home. So I was like, I love gaming, but I can't do that for 3 months straight. I need to be productive. So that's how Chill and Comfort came about, really.
And what would you say, like, the games that you really focus on your channel are? Are you playing like the cozy games, or are you just doing whatever anyone tells you to do?
Do you know what? I feel like it's changed. So to start with, I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about Ooblets. This is a relaxing game because of XYZ. And then I feel like as time has gone on, I've kind of just gone, do you know what? I really just want to post about this, and that's okay. So originally I was like, I'm just going to post about cozy games. But then I thought, do you know what? Why not just broaden my horizons a little bit? So I just opened the world up. So it's a bit of a mixture of, you know, cozy games and then also retro games, because I do love retro stuff as well. I've grown up with games, so why not talk about that as well?
Oh, I feel that, because like my TikTok started because I was a Twitch streamer, and I wanted to promote my Twitch, but I also had a giant living room full of video games, and people were more interested in that and didn't give a shit that I was a Twitch streamer. And that's fine. No, that's totally fine. Because honestly, I really cared more about my game room. So for them to be excited about my retro games, I was like, oh, well, if this is what you're interested in, I would rather talk about this because I actually know more about this. I suck at video gaming. So I definitely see how like things can like evolve over time. But let's jump into like the meat and potatoes of things. Would you say that, like, as a female, like, the current state of gaming, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel we are represented in a positive light or in a negative light? Like, how do you feel are we still, like, a damsel in distress, or how would you feel?
This is an interesting one, because I do feel like we are moving forward. Like, for example, you've got Ellie in The Last of Us 2, and not only do you play as her in the second game, but then she's also part of the LGBTQ community. So I feel like that in itself is just so important, and that game sets an example of what we could be. And I do feel like that we are going in the right direction. but I feel like there still needs to be more of that. Like, it's okay to have some games sometimes where there's that sort of like damsel in distress, but we do need to move forward and go, do you know what? Women are strong, they are powerful. Like, a great example of this is, you know, well, obviously everyone knows Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, and she's a like, she's hot. Let's not pretend she's sexy. Like,
might have been a bi-awakening for me. I'm not gonna say anything.
For real? For real? So it's like, it's interesting with Lara Croft, because in the old games she is shown as one way, but then when the newer games came out, she was shown in more of a vulnerable light, but she was still had that powerfulness behind her as well. So yeah, Lara Croft is a really interesting one in terms of how the game industry is moving forward.
She's my favorite example, always. One, she's my favorite. She was my, and still is, I feel like, my go-to, because as a female, like, who did we have in like the early 90s? We had Princess Peach, who's always stuck in a tower. You know what I mean? And then we have Zelda, who's also always stuck in a tower. You know, and then you get Lara. Well, you have Samus too, but at the time we didn't know Samus was a girl. We thought Samus was a boy, unless you beat the game, kind of a thing. So it's like you got Lara Croft, and you know, yeah, there's some issues with her being this pushed as a sex icon, but hey, guess what? Every woman's pushed as a sex icon. Yeah. You know, it's I hate that, but let's be honest. There is some truth that women can be sexy, and that's okay. That is a part of femininity.
Of course, absolutely.
So, yeah, I guess it kind of sucks that she was pushed as a sex icon, but look at 2013 when they did the reboot. They did that reboot. Chef's kiss!
Yeah.
Square Enix, chef's kiss. I want more of that. I love that. That's one of my favorite games of the 2013 reboot, because it shows Laura in a completely different light. It shows her in this weak state where she doesn't know how to do the walks and the jumps, and she's got stabbed by this rod through her stomach, and she's got to rip it out and climb. All the time. Hated it, yes. But
do you know the bit that I don't like is when I think it's the first one of the reboots where she almost gets stuck underwater, and I think some like rocks fall down, and you've got to wiggle the remote to try and anxiety inducing. But you do feel you are with Laura there. You are in this state of survival, you know? It's so funny. There's two ways to play that game. You could play that game stealth, where it's like with the bow and arrow, which is the way my husband played it. Or you play it like me, who just doesn't know how to use a bow and arrow and just went in there guns blazing and had no idea that stealth was an option. So, and it's I guess the game is meant to be more stealthy. I didn't know that. I just ran in there guns a-blazing. The game is much harder that way. Don't play it that way. Yeah.
Play it the stealthy way, guys. Don't just run in there and pretend that you know everything and that you are Rambo. You're not Rambo. Okay?
That's really interesting, because that's the same with The Last of Us as well. So, like, I go with the stealth option, but then my boyfriend's like, I just want to use the guns and shoot, and so yeah, it's interesting that. But
it's so, because like, my partner, obviously, same way, like, he is so stealth, and then there's me, who's like, I don't have time for this, I've got to get to lunch, okay? That sandwich ain't gonna make itself, we gotta go, okay? Yeah. Like, and he's like, but we gotta, like, you don't know who's there, and I'm like, don't got time. This is why I don't really play games that are stealthy, because I don't have the patience, and it's mainly the patience.
I feel that I don't have a lot of patience, to be honest with you. Like, I'm like, I just want to get it done. I want to be good at the game, just get it finished.
Right. I mean, like, I love a rich story, so it's like I love The Last of Us. I still need to finish part 2. I'm like quarter of the way through. We all know what happened and why I stopped. You guys can take a fucking guess, all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I played a little bit after that. I'm not gonna pretend like I shut it off right after that, but it was just like that happened. I took a break and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this. It's been almost a year.
I didn't just cry. I don't want to spoil it, but I boo-hooed. Like, snot out my nose, dribbling, red face. It was a mess.
Tears. When I say like bitch tears, I mean bitch tears, like full on bitch tears. I don't think I've been that upset since Dom from Gears of War 3. When, I don't know if you are in the Gears of War series, if I just spoiled the Gears of War series for you. Oh yeah, well, yeah, no, that one screwed me. Dom, and first of all, Gears of War 3 is how long old? Alright, I spoiled that one for you. Same thing with Last of Us Part 2, but I'm still not gonna spoil that one. No, Dom from Gears of War 3 made me cry. Because I'm always player 2, so I'm always very attached to player 2. Anytime anything happens to the second player, I'm like, this is the worst thing to happen in gaming history. Because I'm player 2. It's always about me. Who would you say your favorite female character is in gaming? Actually, I want to know, let me ask both currently and when you were growing up, because, and why for both of those?
Oh, you know, there was just so many that I could say, and obviously, like, I would say, like, now, even though Lara Croft is something that I played when I was younger as well, and she's probably still my favourite now, but the one character that doesn't get a lot of talk, it was a Game Boy Advance game, and it was called Lady Sire.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's like, it starts off where, I think she's a princess in a castle, and she's basically trying to warn everybody in the castle, like, look, things are about to happen, we need to act now. And then nobody in the castle listens to her, and then she gets attacked. And then basically throughout the game, you're basically just trying to save a load of, I want to say pedestrians, like people of the town. But yeah, then you get this like green sword, and you're fighting, and she just looks really badass doing it. But it is a game that just doesn't seem to be actually spoken about a lot. But it's nice for it to have that recognition. But I would say overall, Lara Croft and Max from the first Life is Strange in particular.
Gosh, yes, Life is Strange, another series that gets picked on a lot for just being a damn game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I feel like the example when we talk about like too woke of a game. Do you feel games are too woke? And do you feel like DEI is an issue? Or do you laugh at that list? Because I laugh at that. Everyone I've talked to has laughed at that list.
Yeah, I think it's the thing. It's just a bit of a mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
How people are reacting and stuff. So I get why people would be like, oh, okay.
I just have the philosophy of just like play what you want. Like I understand like you might not like certain parts of it. Like for me, I feel so bad. I keep using Dark Souls as an example, but it's just like the game that everyone knows. I just won't play it because it's just beyond a comprehension for me. And that's okay. That's totally fine. So if there's like Life is Strange gets picked on for like Max, the LGBT stuff, like
yeah,
you don't like it, guess what? There are so many other games that are very similar that don't have that kind of content. But to pick on somebody for liking that kind of content, I don't know, I just find that kind of silly. We're bigger than that.
At the end of the day, everybody has got their own personal interests, and like, if you don't like something, that's fine, just don't play it, but don't knock somebody else because they enjoy something. Like, gaming is, like, it's just so open for everybody. So for people just to pick on others for what they like, it's just daft.
I absolutely agree. That's basically pretty much the point of like this whole series and just the conversations that it's just to talk about this kind of stuff and be like, listen, you might not like this stuff, but one, it exists. We're not going to get rid of it. And two, like, there are other things that you can do. There are other ways that we can kind of deal with whatever you're feeling about this subject, you know? That is awesome. I love that. Everyone's had the same response where it's pretty much like, yeah, that's an overreaction. It's not that deep. Like, come on now. It's really not.
It'd be that deep.
It's really, really not. Like, it's just, I love the Life is Strange series. I love Max. I have replayed the first one, so I haven't finished Double Exposure. I'm on like the last chapter. But
I've not played it yet. I'm desperate to play it. I was just seeing how reviews were first.
It's you know what? Here's the thing. The first Life is Strange is just perfect. The soundtrack's amazing. The gameplay's like everything's about it. Double Exposure, it's not bad, but you're not getting the first Life is Strange. You're just not getting that. You're not getting that.
Yeah.
You're not getting the connection with Chloe. You're not. You have Max though.
Yeah.
I mean, and you do have the photography stuff. It's Life is Strange in 2024.
The company's just brought out a new, what's it called? The company have just brought out a new game. It's like Lost and, what's it called? They have just brought out a new game though, which is a similar sort of like.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's was it? No, well, it's not Square Enix because Square Enix is the publisher. So
Yeah.
is it Don't Nod or Don't?
Quick, should we give it a quick Google?
We're gonna have to do a quick Google, guys.
Lost Records.
Lost Records. Yeah.
Lost Records. Blue Arrange. There we go.
That's what
I
it
knew it
was.
was something like that.
Deck 9 is who makes it now. Don't Nod,
Right.
Don't Nod made the first, I think, 2 games, and then Deck 9 has made all of the other Life is Strange games. And then
Okay.
Square Enix is the publisher. I always get that screwed up between developers and publishers because sometimes publishers are also developers, but sometimes they're just publishers, and it's like, why do you have to make this so damn complicated? Why can't it just be one damn company?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I love all those choose your own adventure kind of games where, you know, things change over time. So I'd love to see more of those games like that. There's that other one. Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. That's like
Is it a story-based game like Life is Strange?
it's a story-based game like Life is Strange, and it's got the transgender character. Tell Me Why. That's what it's called. Tell Me Why.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't played it. I always keep saying I'm going to play it and just have it. But that's another one that also goes under fire a lot because there's a transgender character, and God forbid there's a transgender person that exists.
I just find people have an issue with it. Like, surely it's such a fantastic thing that there is so much representation in games now. Like, you would have thought it's 2025. Like, I would have thought it would have moved a bit more past that now.
Absolutely. And like that's like kind of like the whole point of this series is that we're sitting here talking about how it's 2025 and we still need to have these conversations about that even now percentages of women in video game are underrepresented. Do you feel like sexism is still an issue in gaming?
Do you know what? It's funny you say that because I don't know whether to say the comment or, but I actually had somebody comment on my video a few weeks ago. Like, when I've created content, it's mostly been a really positive space and a really positive experience. But I did have one person make a sexist comment which came out of nowhere, and I was like, really? Are people still making comments like that in 2025? Like, I just blocked them immediately. Like, you can't give people the time of day and attention for stuff like that. Like, if anything's like that, get blocked. Not important. But
yeah, I have to say I've been very, very lucky on TikTok where if anyone has commented something negative about something that I've said, either one of my followers comes to my defense or like that TikTok will remove that comment. I've had that happen where like, you know, it gets automatically removed from like hate speech or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was easy. But it's insane because there are so many times where Saturn mentioned this too, where people have said like, oh, that's your husband has a nice video game collection. It's like, no, it's mine. It's me. I'm the gamer. He's just there. So
stuff like that makes me quite annoyed. I'm not gonna
absolutely drives me insane. One thing I've been asking all the female content creators is, do you get messages from old dudes asking to be your sugar daddy? Do you ever get that?
No, I've not had it yet on this account, but I did have an old TikTok account which I don't use anymore. I got that so much, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll give you like £3,000 and like be a sugar daddy, and I'm like, oh, I believe you. Like, I'm just gonna accept that fake money.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Everyone has gotten it. It might not be on their original TikTok account or something. It's either everyone's gotten it through some form. It might not be through TikTok. Like Holly, I think it was something else, but like every single one. So just want to let you know, ladies, it's everyone.
I did get another one where it was like, I got this it was like a really long message, like, and this person was like telling me all about the life story, and it was like, oh, but if you just donate on my GoFundMe page, that's like, that's clearly spam.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. I'm okay, thank you.
Do you feel more connected to the character when it matches your gender?
Do you know what? I would say so, but it's not just that for me. I think it depends on the character's backstory as well. Like, going back to Life is Strange, I, in a way, feel like I was connected to her because she was that kid that was a bit different, and I always felt the same. Like, I was like bullied at school and things like that, and I felt like she was in that same position. So it was nice to relate to her in that way. But yeah, for me, it's more about the scenario and the background of the character rather than the gender. But I suppose in some ways, I do connect more with female characters. It's just natural. It's just I always have been that way.
Yeah, because even if you like look at like how bullying is viewed for like a female lens, like look at how what's her face is. Oh, the one person who's part Victoria, I think her name is in Life is Strange, how she is just relentlessly bullying Max throughout that whole game, and it's just nasty for no reason, and women just need to like build each other up then rip each other down. But then you look at Nathan, who goes after the dude whose name I can't remember right now.
Oh, I can't remember his. I know who you're about. I just can't remember his name.
And he like when he bullies him, he punches him right in the face. So we're talking directly in that game. We're seeing the difference between bullying, where women tend to get more of a, you know, yelling, verbal kind of assault, while men get literally physically assaulted and bullied and beat up. So it's so interesting to see that juxtaposition literally right in front of us, and I feel it's pretty well represented. Although I'll throw down with a girl, I don't care. Let's go.
Oh yeah, she's horrible. It's Victoria. Oh,
Victoria, yeah. She's just
ruffled my feathers when I played it through the first time. I was like,
the whole time. Her, I can't stand. Like, I can't. It makes me so mad. What do you feel are any? Do you have any hot gaming takes? Do you have any hot takes for gaming?
I'm just trying to have a think. Right, so I think Sims 2 is better than Sims 4.
Hell yeah! I'll die on that hill. Fuck yeah! Sims 2 is the best Sims game ever made. Sims, what EA should have done was just never make another game again and just focus on The Sims 2, because The Sims 2, it belongs in the Video Game World Hall of Fame, and if it's not, it's in mine.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that Sims 4 did better, though, because we're obviously talking about like Pride Month and Women's Month, I do feel like The Sims 4 is more inclusive. So, you know, when you come to you're creating a character, like you can decide what gender or sex that sim is, where in Sims 2 you didn't get as much of that flexibility in how you wanted to make your character. But overall, I feel like with The Sims 4, they're just trying to be too realistic. Whereas Sims 2, you still have that really fun art style. And the body shop that you got with Sims 2, where you could like make your own rubbish little t-shirts and put it in the game, I miss that.
Hours. I would spend hours downloading other people's clothes, because you could download other people's design. I would download their clothes. I would write stories for my Sims. If I had a crush on a guy, I would make us a Sim family. I know that's creepy, but whatever. I was like 14, okay? Leave me alone, I was 14. Yeah, we all did it, okay? I'm just saying it. No, but that's what I would do. And like The Sims 2, I loved it. You know, it's so funny because originally EA was not going to add same-sex marriages into it. And they weren't going to. And like the original Sims, they were originally going to scrap it, but they never told the person who was coding the game. So when it came to like presenting the game, I forget, it was like I don't know if it was like an EA workshop or something, but they were presenting the game to like the executives. There was a wedding going on in the game. Like it was like a free demo going on. And two of the Sims that were invited to the wedding fell in love and started making out at the wedding. And everybody was so excited that there was lesbians in the game that EA was like, oh shit, we have to keep this in. And so lesbians stayed.
Yes, the lesbians have got to stay.
And that's it. It was an accident. It was a happy little accident. So that's why, and that's why we have LGB, representation in The Sims, and it's just been gone up from there. And I agree with you that The Sims 4 is better with that, because you can do you can have sexual preferences. That's insane. Where you could literally have a Sim who's like monogamous, or you could have a Sim who's like, no, we're polyamorous. We're gonna touch anything that moves. It's like, okay, that's weird, but cool, good for you. Representation. It's weird to me, but good for you. Like.
So yeah, if they add all that into The Sims 2,
and And then they re-released the Sims. You know what? Here we go. EA, you're listening? Look at me. EA. You just need to add a patch to The Sims 2, because I know you just re-released The Sims 2. LG Pride Month. There you go. We're printing money here. We are printing money for EA.
Apparently,
I love
the
it.
import is when people tried to buy it on Steam. Apparently, like they've had loads of bugs and things like that, which is why I've held off actually buying it.
I refuse to spend $40 on it. You're better than me, so I saw the price. I was like, no. If it was $5.99, yes. But why is it almost the price of a brand new game? You're not at like. Unless you're giving me every single, and I don't know, I didn't actually look at it, but unless you're giving me every single DLC, I'm talking, well, Hot Date I think is Sims 1, but like, unless you're giving me all of those DLCs, I'm not paying $30 for that game.
No, I think they did, when I was reading through, I think, you get most of them.
Okay. Then that would make me feel a little better then. I'm gonna check on that though, because if it's wrong, I'm gonna be upset.
And I'll be sorry, I'm sorry I upset you.
I'm gonna be like, Rebecca's never coming back, ever.
Again,
ever. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Oh, here's the one I want to ask everyone. Who are your favorite female content creators?
Oh, do you know what? There is so many, but I think the two that come into mind, of course, Holly Retro, and everybody sings her praises, and so right that they should. Like, she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's smart.
I just have to say one thing. Before Holly
great.
showed her face, because she didn't used to do her face on TikTok, and then she showed her face. As soon as I saw it, I swear to God, my reaction was, God damn it, she's beautiful too.
Yeah.
She's everything! It's not fair!
But yeah, like, just how can I not? And then another female creator that I really like is, of course, yourself. And it's...
Who's also just as beautiful as Holly.
Is it just like gleaming, you're shining, you're glowing.
You're still not getting... You're not getting paid for this interview.
Man, so much money. And then the other one that just immediately springs to mind is a gamer 27. I think her.
Yes, is a gamer. Yes, she's so sweet. She's got hedgehogs that are just so cute.
I mentioned that in Coach Mar's podcast. I was like, she has a hedgehog called Sonic.
She is a very genuinely nice person. I was going to invite her on this, but I know she's been sick, so that's why. I know she hasn't been feeling good, so that's why I'm just sending her well wishes. We adore her. We love her so much, though.
We love you and your hedgehog.
We do love you and your hedgehog. And your games, too. You talk about games. But we like your hedgehog.
We just like the hedgehog.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you feel gaming companies are doing enough to combat harassment and online bullying?
No.
Good. Statistically, both men and women agree on that they don't do anything. Well, not that they don't do, but they should take more of an initiative for that, and they don't.
It's like, there's a game that I really, really like called Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
You're like, yes. And obviously, it's meant to be a safe space, but I just feel like when you're reporting somebody, say they've been like, I don't know, cheating, for example, like, the thing you can report people for are just not very specific, and then you don't know, say if you've reported somebody, you don't know if that report is actually being taken seriously. And then say if you've not turned off your settings. So to be honest, when I'm on Dead by Daylight, I turn a lot of my settings off so people can't message me because I just want to enjoy the game. But I have had it in the past where people have like inboxed you and it's like, oh, you're this, and this. And it's like,
yep.
It's not that deep. It's just a game. It's just like cat and mouse. Like, it's really not that important.
Yes.
I feel like so much more needs to be put in place and it needs to be taken more seriously.
I definitely feel that too, especially like I play Marvel Rivals, which is like a toxic place all on its own. Any kind of like multiplayer like that is just toxic for some reason, where they're just really angry. It's like, it's really not that serious.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that you're dog water at being a tank. That's not my fault. That's your fault, buddy. Okay? Don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
Stop blaming me, okay? And they're just nasty. I had someone tell me to set myself on fire once. I was like, all right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, like, you should set yourself on fire. I was like, I'm not going to, but thank you.
Thumbs up.
Thanks for the suggestion. Not happening. So yeah, it's insane. Well, anyway, we're gonna, wow, it's already been like a half hour. I love these. These run yes! That's what I love about these, because we've had just such organic, nice conversations where it hasn't really felt like I'm interviewing. It feels like we're having a natural conversation, and that's what I want. So we'll just end the little segment with a couple of trivia.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. The first video game that ever allows you to play as a female is a 1982 game called Wibbit, and it's on the Atari 2600. You play as Billy Sue. Basically, you're just, I guess you could say it's our first cozy game too, because you are, yeah, all you're doing is you're protecting your carrots. You know, it's a little game where you're this little girl who's throwing rocks, and there's bunnies and you're protecting your carrots. And that's it. That's it. It's called Wibbit, and it's a 1982. Although technically, the very, very first one would be a 1977 arcade game called Score, where you are able to choose whether you are male or female. The only problem with this is there is no known arcade panel that works, like the board. So we have like the arcade cabinet that says Score, and it shows that you can play a female, but you can't actually play the game because the game doesn't exist, basically.
Oh.
So our first game where you can play as a female is erased from video game history.
Right.
That sucks.
That's a lot earlier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I was surprised with 77 too. But it's so funny because even with Billy Sue at 82, that's when Miss Pac-Man came out. Like, Miss Pac-Man came out in 82 as well, and I believe Metroid also came out in 82. Don't quote me on that one though. But it's insane because they all came out around the same time. But before that, there was no female characters in video game. That's crazy, right?
Isn't it?
Yeah. And then this one, oh yeah, I like the note I put for this one. A 2006 study from Virginia Polytechnical Institute found video game characters appeared less frequently than males. And to that I say you had to do a study for that.
Yeah.
You needed to do a college study for that. You could have just walked into my game room for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are just some little fun and not so fun facts about women in video game history, as well as our representation. Is there any current projects that you want to share that you're working on, that you're looking forward to?
I was gonna say, well, this is like the latest one, and can I just say thank you so much for having me on as well. Like, it's just been so nice to have, people having conversation about gaming. And I think this is just taking it away from me a minute, but I think you should do more stuff like this. It just, no, I know, seriously, like, you could just come across so relaxed, and it's just, I think there just needs to be more female content creators getting together like this. I think something should get started.
Yeah, honestly, this is kind of catalyst into like something entirely different, where I am doing 4 for the month of March, but I have more than 4 content creators right now, so I'm like, shit, I have too many. So I'm gonna keep doing it, it's gonna be slowing down to like 1 a month, just because it's way too much to do 4 a month. It's a lot. It's a lot of scheduling, it's a lot of editing, it's just a lot. So like 1 a month is much more attainable. So I'm definitely going to continue this project because everyone that I've talked to has been incredibly amped to be a part of it. And it's been such a pleasure to like talk to other women and also see that I'm not alone in my experience. And that's comforting on its own. At least for me, it's so comforting to just know that I'm not the only one to get weird sugar daddy messages. I'm not the only one to like love Lara Croft as much as I did. Like, I'm not... it's good to not feel alone, because I feel sometimes with gaming, especially as a woman, we do feel alone. So that's really the point of the series. And obviously, thank you for being on. Honestly, I know, because we're like, we got a time difference, and you know, you're working out with your schedule. You've been phenomenal too, so I gotta thank you as well.
Oh, stop it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This has been episode 3. Make sure to follow Rebecca on all of her. Where can people find you? I should say first.
So this is my thing, right? So I'm only on TikTok right now.
That's basically where everyone is. It's TikTok.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't want to get so overwhelmed with social media because I feel like if you have a platform here and a platform there, and then say if you're doing stuff for YouTube, for example, that's a whole different editing format to what you do for TikTok because all the dimensions are completely different. And then I've never been on Twitch, but I bet for Twitch it's like a whole different kettle of fish for that.
Content creation, it's easy to do, but it's not easy to do. It's time consuming.
It is. I love it so much, and I wouldn't change it. But yeah, there are moments where it's like, this is gonna take a while.
Yes, and like that's like I'm just like I give myself a dumb amount of time for projects because anything could go wrong. My green screen didn't want to change this morning, so I was fixing it for a half hour, and it still doesn't look that great, but it's okay.
I'm thinking how much I like it.
I'm so bad at like audio settings. I'm so bad at video settings. It's usually my partner who does everything, and I'm trying to not bug him so much. So I'm trying to be Miss Independent here. It looks alright.
Yeah, it looks jolly and it looks current and all like neon and stuff. What do you want?
These are this isn't green screen. These are real arcade cabinets.
I know. I was gonna say I'm coming to your house.
No, everyone keeps telling me they're like, you gotta open up an Airbnb. We want to like chill in your living room. I'm like, no, I don't want strangers in my house. Like, no, that's okay. You guys can come hang out though. You can hang out anytime. I love people coming to my house because, especially when it's their first time coming to my living room, because it's just this experience. It's like a library of games, and I'm so used to it. It's just my living room. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's a Tuesday. But everyone else is like, this is like an arcade. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Bookshelf.
Can I say, I admire how organized you keep your collection. Like,
everyone says
the reason
that.
why I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't be able to do that. Everything would just be just everywhere. And then I would have to think about the dust and cleaning and stuff. But you just seem to keep everything so uniform and organized. I just don't know if I can do that.
She's dusty. She's a dusty girl.
She's a dusty girl.
No, she definitely needs to be dusted way more than I actually dust. I'll be real with you. I'm just gonna be honest. As for organization, here's the thing, I buy so many games that I need to know if I actually own a game. So there's so many times I'm having a conversation with my like partner or a friend, and I'll just get up and walk into my game room and go check my shelf to see if I have it. Yeah, I have my log on my phone. I could just check there, but I like the physical walking over to and being like,
yeah.
And
I did this.
Yes. Yeah, and I swear I will just pull a game off the shelf and be like, I got this for like $2. And it'll be like a $80 game or something like that, because I just think that's cooler. That's so much cooler to get a game for under what it's worth than to just walk in. Any asshole with a credit card could walk into a game store and just buy anything. It takes talent and dedication to wait and just happen to walk into like a thrift store, a consignment shop, a secondhand place, and pick up that game for like $3.99. Like that's talent right there.
It's such a satisfying moment as well. Like, I've not had many moments like that, but one thing that I did go through for a while is like, I love video games that are bad.
I do too.
Like,
I do too.
What was it? Home Alone. There's a certain company that for games. So there's Home Alone. I owned Robin Hood. What was the one that I would love to have owned is Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys.
I was gonna say, is it the Snow White one? Because you guys have. The thing is, there was a while when I first started getting into game collecting that I was watching like a bunch of YouTube content creators, and I fell onto this channel, and I had no idea that those were all just a bunch of PAL games. So when I started looking for them, I was so upset because it's like you have to buy a PAL system and everything. Like, I can't get shitty games over here. You guys also have like some Brit game. Oh my god, that's like
Britain.
yes, Little Britain. You knew exactly what I was fucking talking about too. That Little Britain game where she's like skating down the road and stuff. I'm like, this looks terrible. Garbage. I absolutely love shitty games. And it's because I think it's fun to like pull them off the shelf when friends are over and be like, please try this craptastic game. You need to experience how craptastic it is. And it's a great time. Like, Wheel of Fortune for the N64 is my favorite N64 game. Not because it's a great N64 game, but because when one of the guys says a vowel, he goes, oh! And it's just the funniest thing to me, how he says, oh!
You know, it's funny how, like, certain things stay in your head from games. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Have you played Kingdom Hearts 2?
Dance, Water, Dance.
Yeah, so I was thinking about Donald Duck singing in Swim This Way.
Oh, just swim this way, yeah.
But it's Donald Duck singing, it kills me.
That's cracky voice, yeah. Oh my god, no, now it's gonna get stuck in my head! You jerk!
I'm not sorry at all.
It's okay. It's totally fine. It's fine. No, I get it, because I have that way with, probably the Dance Water Dance guy is my favorite one, because it was just, I don't even know his name. I just know, like, it's like, what are the things from video games? I'm like, I just know because it's Dance Water Dance. I don't know any of their names because they all have X's and Y's and W's put in there somewhere. I don't even bother trying to pronounce them now. Yeah, he's Dance Water Dance guy. And then there's, there's Kingdom Hearts 1 where you fight Riku, and there's no way you're taking Kairi's heart!
The way you take Kairi's heart!
Yeah, there's no way you're taking Kairi's heart! Heard that cutscene.
Like the Shaggy from
oh my gosh, yes! Yes, you can't take Kairi's heart! Gosh! Sora!
Also, Donald Duck does nothing in that game.
Nothing.
He heals everybody else but Sora.
Yeah, so I remember the Maleficent fight specifically, and I could talk about Kingdom Hearts 1 all day, where you can actually climb up into the vines. Like, there's like all those like vines that have the thorns and stuff like that, and you could just let Donald and Goofy fight her.
Really?
Yeah, and you just have to hire Tinkerbell. She can hit you with like range attacks, but like she can't really hit you up there. So that's what I would do. I would just get Tinkerbell. I would summon Tinkerbell, and I would hide up in there, and I would just do that too. So much of that game, I would just like, I don't feel like fighting. I'd hang on a ledge, because you can glitch the game by hanging on a ledge and just let Donald and Goofy do everything. So I would just be like, alright, we're getting XP for this fight. And I'm just hanging on the ledge, and those two are just doing their thing.
All the pain and suffering I went through, and I didn't need to go through it.
Hours on Kingdom Hearts 1. Hours on Kingdom Hearts 1 and hours on Kingdom Hearts 2. Those are my two games. Any other game of the series, I've played other ones. Like, I played the third one. I couldn't tell you the story. I don't know anything. Don't know anything that happened. I played Birth I played Birth by Sleep. I beat it as Aqua. I got to the end as Terra, like that final boss. And then I couldn't beat him as Terra, and I just went, close enough, and turned it off.
Yeah. I just feel like the whole... I love Kingdom Hearts, but the whole story has just gone wild.
It doesn't make any sense.
But there's another one, and then there's like...
Well, there's nobodies, and then there's Heartless, and then there's nobodies times 5, but they're not called nobodies. Yeah. They're called Squigglemubbles. And you're like, what? Yeah. I don't even know what they're called. I just don't. Stop adding enemies, okay?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, they didn't even really need to add nobodies because of the fact that Heartless can change from world to world, so why do they even add nobodies to begin with? It just doesn't really make sense. You could have added Organization 13 without even adding the enemy type of a nobody.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not Square Enix. I'm not writing the story. Which I don't even think they're writing the story. I'm pretty sure they're just going on Reddit and they're reading, like, or they're going on, like, fanfics and they're like, you know what? This is the story we're going with.
Yeah. Let's just see what happens.
Let's just, how can we milk this game? How can we milk Sora a little more for some more money? Let's do it. That's pretty much it. Oh my god. Anyway, Rebecca, let's end this call. We'll end this one. Thank you everyone for being here, because we are still technically recording. we went right... This has happened with almost every person I've interviewed, where we went right back into a conversation, because it's just that easy to talk to you. So that's a good thing. So,
yeah, of course.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.